so that they can shine in their sorry, it just lit up when I said shine and put my hands up. So tip number 1, I'm gonna get straight to the point. You need to let your audience humbly brag. Hey guys, and welcome to today's YouTube video. Today we'll be talking about Facebook group engagement as well as some Facebook group engagement ideas. We've all been there where we have something great to offer our audience that we know deep down in our hearts will help them, and yet when we post, all we hear is crickets. It's okay, I've been there. So by the end of this YouTube video, you'll have 5 new ways to get stronger engagement in your group so that you can get to know your audience, they can get to know you, and start purchasing your products and services. So what does that mean? No more crickets. If you don't know me, my name's Jenna Martin. I run a Boss Babes group of now 17,000 Boss Babes members. I've helped hundreds of women in my group with growth, engagement, and sales so that they can rise and shine and truly flourish in their businesses. If you're from the group, go ahead and give me a little hi and just let me know you're here. Otherwise, if you're new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button and bell notification so that you can get more tips to help your business explode. And part of the secret sauce that a lot of people don't know is you need to let your audience brag more. And real quick, I just want to share today's shout out. Thank you so much for all your love and support. If you want to be considered for a shout out too, go ahead and drop a comment or ask a really good question. And just thank you for being here. Let's dive right in. So tip number 1, I'm going to get straight to the point. You need to let your audience humbly brag. So what I see a lot of Boss Babe owners doing, which is smart, is they're asking really tough questions to an audience that hasn't really gotten to know them yet. So a common one I see that does work is a question like, what are you struggling with most in your business? And while that's a good question, and a lot of women do need help in their business, it creates fear in their stomachs likely, and it's kind of embarrassing to post in front of an entire group of women that they are struggling. So even though you have the best intentions doing this, it's really tough when you have a new audience to get anyone to answer or to have a post full of hundreds of comments. So let's turn the tables then, and we're going to try something new and something that's fun and gets people to talk and engage in your Facebook group. So here are some Facebook engagement ideas, and they start with letting your audience brag and tell you about who they are. Start with something they're proud of. So let your audience shine and share their truths and share something that they're super excited about. And this is how you'll get tons of comments. These are great Facebook marketing ideas. So you're going to ask things like, what is your favorite moment in your business? Obviously choose a question that pertains to your topic, but I'll use business babe questions as an example. Drop a gif of a celebrity that represents your business right now. What is the biggest thing you've overcome in your business? Will you share one of your business wins today? What are your beautiful goals for 2021? Do you see how exciting this is? Even though you might be a coach trying to solve a certain problem, you'll get people to start talking way more quickly by sharing their wins, their excitements, things they've overcome, and you'll get the answers you actually need. On these types of posts, women who are struggling tend to say, I wish I had a win, or I wish I had overcome this hurdle, or business is slow this week. And so it's a very authentic, enjoyable way to get to know who's with you and also who needs your help. So that's my biggest tip for number 1, is letting the women in your group just brag a little bit, a good humble brag to lift their spirits and get them talking. Right, tip number 2 is going to surprise you as well to help you increase your Facebook engagement rate, is honestly to ask questions that you already know the answers to. So I did this once by mistake. I just honestly wanted to see what people had to say. So I asked my group, what are your biggest tips for Facebook? And even though I've got thousands in my mind, you bet that I got hundreds of comments on that post. And it showed me where my audience was, how much they knew, how much they didn't know. I even picked up a few tips myself. Women love to give their opinion, and we love to support each other, and we love to share our ideas and feel heard. So asking your audience questions that you may already know and stepping out of the way and letting your audience shine again will lead to hundreds of comments. And again, people who don't know things will reach out to to you saying, I don't really know about Facebook groups, or I just started one, I'm excited. So example for a health group would be, how much water should you drink per day? So instead of telling your audience and getting crickets, you're gonna hear all about how much water they drink or how much water they're not drinking, and that's when you'll start to see who needs help. For a mom's group, maybe you could ask them their tips for how they help their kids when learning from home. Because man, I know a lot of moms have a lot to say about that. This has been a big one. And maybe for a boutique owner, ask what people feel the latest trends are. They change so fast. So maybe you'll learn something too, and your audience will get to shine and become more engaged in your group. And when you ask questions like this, they get excited about themselves, which in turn gets them excited about you. And I found that when I did this, people actually searched through the units parts of my page, checked out my personal page, just in genuine curiosity of who I was, because I wasn't shoving stuff at them. I was genuinely trying to get to know them and see where they were at, and also be humble enough to learn things while gauging where my audience was at in order to provide them with better content. Genius. Okay, and be sure to stick around for tip number 4, because it's a good one too. For right now, let's go on with an amazing tip number 3. Another thing that a lot of experts don't do is to share your fails. I know you guys are thinking, this is crazy, Jenna. This is going backwards on everything I know of positioning myself as the expert and being the queen of my group, leading the way. But I have to tell you, there's something stronger about being humble and stepping back and actually creating room for your audience to step in and respond. So yes, you can continue to position yourself as the expert and do posts like that, but just mix it with some of these other Facebook engagement ideas to increase engagement and to get your audience talking. So my favorite example of sharing a fail is where you're sharing something that makes you human, something that went wrong, something that went horribly wrong, like spilling your smoothie before you went off to yoga or your class or to go pick up your kids. What we're going to be doing is dropping hints about our expertise and success while sharing our fail. So if you share a picture of your smoothie that's just been flown across the counter, maybe some of it got onto the refrigerator, you bet people are going to comment on that because they've done it too, and it makes you real. So you'll either get, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, or ahaha, I've done the same thing, but they'll also see that you're taking good care of yourself drinking smoothies, and you can add in little tips to the conversation. So maybe you've talked about how ridiculous it was that you spilt your smoothie, but you're so thankful that each morning you get X, Y, and Z nutrients, and how much energy that smoothie gets you per day, and how sad you are that today just won't be the day for whatever reason. So it's a good way to drop hints of your success and expertise while conveying that you're a real person. And what's important about this is if you put yourself up too far on a pedestal and it's not working for you, it generally means that on that pedestal you're too far away from your audience. You need to bring it back down to real life and become a real person where they don't feel like you'll judge them and they can share their problems with you openly. So sharing your fails gets people to engage with you more, it increases your Facebook engagement rate, and it's an amazing way to get the conversation going while again putting in little tidbits about your expertise or successes. Okay, so moving right along, we're gonna go to tip number 4. And tip number 4 is actually to say something completely against the grain. These are amazing Facebook marketing ideas and are exactly how to increase Facebook reach. So maybe you run a group that's about happiness and living your best life and being your truest self, and maybe being a happy person, you hate the happiest place on earth, and maybe you actually hate Disney. And so if you say that in your group, I guarantee you you're gonna get a lot of responses. Like, what kind of person are you that you don't like Disney? And that is an amazing conversation opener, because from that you can share with them them the things that work for you to create a happy life, and slowly drop hints about your business and how you can help them find more happiness in their life so that they're not just dependent on Disney to do it. If you say something that goes against the grain, it creates this emotional gut reaction to your followers, and you bet they're gonna have something to say about it. And this is exactly another way of how to increase organic reach on Facebook. So woohoo, Facebook engagement. So tip number 5 is, what does your audience need to hear? Like, what are they going through? If you've gotten to know them and gotten more engagement, you know what their struggles are. If you've reached out to them or had them reach out to you in Messenger, you know what they're going through. So if you were their friend or their mom, what would you say that would just hit home to warm their hearts and remind them that everything's okay, or that will help them with motivation and take them to the next level? So some of these Facebook engagement ideas are like, hey, I know you guys have had a long week. Let's do something to celebrate. Give me a picture of your why and your motivation in the comments. What is it that inspires you? It's like getting your audience back into a good place. Or hey, I know you did your best this week to drink enough water. I didn't quite reach my goals. Here's what I did. Here's what I'm gonna do about it. What are you doing? It's just like you're meeting them where they're at, which brings so much comfort and also helps them open up to you. It makes me think of the Ryan Gosling "Hey Girl" comments, where it goes, "Hey girl," and then it's something all girls wish a guy would say. If you don't know about them, look them up. It's really funny. They basically have a super hot picture of Ryan Gosling saying things that everything a girl would want to hear. Like one of them, if you look online, it says, "Hey girl, let's binge watch kitten videos and eat vegan cupcakes." Now that might not be your thing, but you get the idea. It's just you're saying the thing they need to hear right now in this moment. So yes, a lot of these post engagement ideas, a lot of women would consider you're positioning yourself more as a friend than the expert, but what you're doing is creating a balance of both. If your audience isn't engaging, you need to be the friend and get to know them so that they feel like they can be open and they can talk to you. And then you'll have your regular posts of being the expert, or this course is coming up, or you can do your own series of humble brags of things you've accomplished with testimonials. And I can tell you I've made so many sales this way, just meeting people where they're at, hearing their story, and then I know exactly where they're at so I can help take them to their goals. So these are some amazing tips that will really help your group become more engaged. You can intertwine them with other posts. If you've made it this far, drop a unicorn or write #unicorn. It just gives me the chance to reach out and say thank you for being here and share some love. And if you're still trying to grow your Facebook group, you can click on this video here, which will teach you how to increase your Facebook members, or you can click this video here, which will teach you how to spike the algorithm of your group and how I got 200 member requests per day that I wasn't even asking for. So there's a lot you can do with Facebook groups, and I'm so excited, and I'll see you in the next one.